Have you ever looked at all the gear musicians use and wonder, how does it all work? My name's Dustin, and my family and I are setting out on a quest to inspire both adult and kid musicians to create new sounds together and learn all about what it takes to produce great music. We'd like to invite you along on the journey as we explore the gear professional studios, musicians, and hobbyists use to create their art. We'll take a close-up look at the gear and ask,
what's this button do?
Hello and welcome to this week's episode. I'm your host, Dustin, and today we are going to be coming back with the coolest Universal Audio pedal to hit the streets in forever, the new Enigmatic pedal. Now, those of you who are fans of the show know these amps right behind me are some of my favorite amps in the world. You'll notice I've remodeled the studio and really focused on my Two Rocks. I've just kind of fallen in love with them over the years. And really what Two Rock has done is captured a lot of the old Dumble sound and evolved that and created these amazing sounding amps. But none of them are exactly a clone of a Dumble because honestly, nothing was a clone of a Dumble. Dumbles weren't even clone of Dumbles. There was so many different models of Dumbles made. Every single one sounds absolutely unique. And it's the tone that so many guitarists are trying to chase to get that John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan tone. That's basically an unattainable thing. These amps are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Two Rock, Amplified Nation, several other brands out there have made really good emulations based on specific amps that they've had their hands on. But I found that Two Rock just takes that to a whole other level and creates something new and something special. And in some cases, honestly, I've gotten a chance to play a couple Dumbles. I kind of like the Two Rocks better, which is why you see them behind me today. But Universal Audio is what we're here to talk about today because they have taken some of the sounds of some of the original Dumble amps and put them into a pedal format. Now, there are a ton of demos out there on this already. Universal Audio has paid for a bunch of stuff. You guys know I'm not a paid channel. I wanted to do something a little different. So today's demo is going to be a little short and sweet, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the Two Rock Classic Reverb Signature back here. I've got it set up in a clean format, kind of based on how I play like a steel string singer. Dumble kind of set up a nice clean. And what I thought I'd do is I'm going to see if I can dial in the same kind of settings using the Enigmatic. And then I'm going to compare the two side by side. We'll just plug the Enigmatic into a basic old Fender amp, just a Fender clean. And then we'll plug in the Two Rock and we'll flip back and forth between them and see how close they sound. And then I'll even hit it with a little fuzz because I've heard a lot of things that the Enigmatic can't handle other pedals going into it. So we're going to test that out as well. So join me over the pedal board and let's hear how it sounds. All right, for today's demo, we are going to be using the brand new Scythe OH10, this little sparkle beauty they made for the Fretboard Journal. I managed to get my hands on it. This is an absolute beast of a guitar. Mark and Sean nailed this. It's got a little bit hotter bridge pickup, a good balance. In the middle position, it sounds like this. In the bridge, oh, sorry, that was in the middle of the bridge. Just a really, really great clean sound. I'm going to keep it in the middle for right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to test out the Two Rock Classic Reverb right here. I'm going to mic that up and then we're going to compare that side by side with the Enigmatic. Let's see what we can make it sound like. All right, to start off today, we're going to take a look at the Enigmatic before we start with anything else. So we're not even going to mess with the Two Rocks or anything. We're just going to go Enigmatic straight into a Fender Blues Junior. Got it mic'd over here with a Shure M57 and a Royer 121. So first things first, let's listen to the actual sound of the pedal. Right now, I've got everything at noon except for the drive. We've got the drive turned all the way down. We got our EQ set on the middle. I'm not going to mess with the alternate settings. For those who want a walkthrough of the pedal itself with all the little knobs, just go check out any of the UA demos. They're really good. They go through all the little settings. It's just like the Anti I did a few weeks ago. There's alternate modes where you can adjust the bass, cut the presence, the bright, and then you can even alternatively use your ratio, the room settings up top here. So you got a lot of alternatives that you can use with this as well. But we're not going to focus on those today. We're going to focus on just the main 6 knobs. I'm also not using the app. You guys have heard me talk about this before. If a pedal can't do something on its own, I don't want to mess with it. I don't like digging into an app. I like just showing you the straight pedal out of the box. That's what we're going to do today. So let's take a look at what this sounds like. So we're going to turn the drive up just a little bit because you have to have a little bit there to be able to hear it. So let's hear what that sounds like. Turn my volume up on my guitar. All right. Definitely gonna need more than that, huh? All right, that's pretty good. If we keep bringing the drive up, what happens? I'm gonna turn me into the bridge here. Everything at noon all the way. That's got some gain on tap. That is crazy. Wow. I genuinely was not expecting that. I did not realize how much gain would be on tap here. Now, part of that is because I genuinely, when I'm playing around with my two rocks, I'm running them clean. I like to use them as pedal platforms, so I'll run a pedal into them, dirty them up that way, and run them in overdrive and push them into breakup. So just the gain on that, I mean, that is some. And if we crank the output, you can already hear the spankiness to that you get in that classic Texas rock. That has really got a nice spank to it. Max it all the way out to the output. Now this is in rock mode. If we go down to jazz, let's see what happens here. Versus custom. Ooh, custom definitely has a little bit more bass there. Back up to rock. Back to custom. You can hear that custom is deeper, a little bit bassier, a little bit more thump on the bottom end there. And the jazz setting got definitely less thump on it. That's a good balance. I like it. Now, what if we go back to a clean? What if we take our cleans up here, maybe turn our output or our gain down a little bit, but have our output nice and loud? Okay, these are going to really play off each other. We're going to need... It's got a nice sparkle to it. Let's bring this up a little bit. Now this is interesting. I'm going to go back into that custom mode. This is... Back up to rock real quick. Something interesting I've even noticed on my two rock. We don't have the bright engaged or anything on here, but what you'll notice is it is a very bright thing by nature, which I find my two rocks are as well. I typically, I know you can't really zoom in here, but when I'm running on the Landreth or on my Bloomfield Drive, I never take the treble above 1 o'clock. Sometimes I'll even peel it back and go around 11 or 9. Right now we got this treble at noon. We'll keep it in jazz real quick and let's take it all the way up and see what happens. Yeah. See, that smooths it out. A little too much washed out. We can really I think you can sit with the treble right around 11. This isn't something you need to max out the treble on. I'd even bring my mids up a little. If we bring them all the way up, a little too much maybe. I just love it. That sounds so harmonic. What if we bring all the bass all the way down? Yeah, that washes it out. This has kind of got the same kind of EQ as that anti does. Yeah, so you're okay having the bass up a little bit, the mids up a little bit. That is interesting. Now, what if we bring our gain up again? Yeah, that could get washed out. Depending on how you're going to use it, you're gonna... Yeah, you don't want that bass up too high if you're going to be gaining it. You're gonna flub things out if you start pumping that up there to get the gain. So be really careful how you balance that out. But I mean, that's a really beautiful sound. Just if we got it right about there, I think. Kind of like having that output high. I'm gonna bring the treble back down. Golly, that's pretty. I mean, come on, that is just gorgeous. All right, now I think it's time to do some comparisons. All right, now I think we've got the Enigmatic setup pretty close to the 2-rock. So what I think I'm going to do, I am going to play the 2-rock, then I'm going to click over to my Fender. We'll A-B the two together, and let's see what we sound like here. So let's start off with the 2-rock. So here's our clean tone. Cool. All right. Over to the Enigmatic and the Fender. Back to the Fender. I mean the 2-rock, sorry. See if we dig in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. See, I think with these pedals, I find they drive a little bit heavier, so you can hear that distortion. Or if we switch over back to the 2-rock. See, it's got a ton of headroom on there. Let's see if we can emulate the headroom. Let's take this down, the gain down maybe. Bad, we're still distorting. Take the gain down a little bit more. Not bad. Back over here. Back to the Enigmatic. That's not bad. Back to the 2-rock. Not bad. I think we can find that. It's just about warming it up. There we go. Versus the... Just slightly gainier, but not by a massive amount. That's impressive. Okay, now, here's where it gets tricky. Let's leave it right there, and I'm probably going to have to mod this. Let's see how this takes pedals. So I'm going to turn on the mohair fuzz distortion. This is a pretty gnarly, nasty fuzz. When I play it with this 2-rock, it's going to get kind of gnarly. Okay, so let's do the 2-rock first. Cool. All right, let's swap over to the Fender. To the Fender here. There we go. back to the T-Rock. Enigmatic. Come on. That is a fuzz going into a digital emulation, going into a tube amp. Hold on, we're going back to the T-Rock here. Come on, like that almost sounds better with the Enigmatic. Oh, we gotta get back to the Enigmatic. Hold on. I mean, that's pretty amazing when you can make a cheap Fender amp sound dang near, and if not, I mean, honestly, with the fuzz, I kind of like that better than coming through the Two-Rock Classic. I mean, come on, that is insane for a $400 pedal. That's impressive. That is impressive. Okay, what'd you think? I'm saying for clean tones, if you are looking for a Dumble clean rocker, you know, kind of light gain, medium tones, this nails it. I mean, they captured that Dumble in a box sound, and I mean, there's a ton of Dumble pedals out there. I've played a lot of them. This is truly one of the closest I've found it. I mean, you could hear that compared to my Two-Rock clean sound, phenomenal. Now, I hope you also heard when I played the fuzz pedal in there, there is some difference. I think we found it like by boosting up either the output or the treble, you can make up for some of that sound change. That's part of the problem with emulation is whenever you hit fuzz or drive into emulation, it always has to basically be changing it to match the cabinets and all the emulation that's in there. So it's not the same as hitting the front end of an amp. It is always going to sound a little bit different, but I gotta say, I'm impressed. I genuinely did not think that was going to work. I thought it was going to sound like absolute garbage, and it didn't. It was a usable tone. Now, I still like running a pedal into a Two-Rock, but you can get that Two-Rock for $5,000 or you can get this for $400. This seems like a value steal, especially if you're running into like just a basic, you know, Fender Blues Junior, something like that. You can turn a $300-$400 amp into a $5,000 sound by adding a $400 pedal. I mean, I think that in and of itself is fantastic. So there is a ton of use for this. I think if you're going for that blues rock, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan tone, John Mayer tone, freaking awesome. Like they absolutely nailed this. Well, hope that helped you out and gives you some ideas if this pedal is going to work for you. We got a ton of stuff coming over the rest of the year. My friends at Palen, I'd like to thank them because they are helping me get my hands on a few new Warm Audio pedals because Warm Audio's got some really cool stuff coming out. We're going to put those into a test. We're going to test out the new LSL Moonfuzz. Several Thorpe pedals are on the way. There is a lot going on. Plus, we've got a couple new amps. I don't know if you can see in the background here, but we have the new Reverb Third Man Jack White Fender collaboration. We're going to be running that through the paces, as well as some new gear from the Scythe boys. So there's a lot to talk about coming over the next couple of months. So please join us back here. We're going to be back to our regularly scheduled Tuesday night going forward. So I'll see you all next week. I think that's October 8th at around 8 p.m. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Take care, and we'll talk to you next week.